Welcome back to Legion Builds, where I show you how to bring your favorite characters into Dungeons & Dragons. Today we're bringing to life everyone's favorite gun-toting god of death, Death the Kid, from the strange and pretty interesting anime, Soul Eater. I'm not going into many details, go check it out for yourself. Today's goals are to unleash the fury of Death God Taijutsu, a martial art developed by Lord Death himself and solely used by Reapers. So, fists and death. Speaking of combos, our next goal is to wield amazing firepower with your twin guns that for some odd reason you fire upside down. Disclaimer, I'm not giving you Patty and Liz as they are characters that transform into guns. Told you this anime is interesting. Finally, we do actually need to be a god of death. Massive damage, amazing abilities, and death. Lots of death. For this build, we'll be using Player's Handbook, Xanathar's Guide to Everything, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, and Monsters of the Multiverse. We're using standard point array and we are multi-classing, so keep an eye on those minimums should you use rolling or point buy. We'll start things off with Dex at 15. Between your martial arts skills, marksmanship, and skateboarding abilities, you have amazing coordination. Charisma will follow at 14. You're not just a god, you are the future Grim Reaper. Meisters will be looking up to you, so you'll need to be someone people want to follow. Wisdom will be 13. This is a stat minimum, but this will not be that great. I would like to remind you, you have severe OCD and will tend to get distracted during battles. Con will be next at 12. I'm not really sure how your physiology works, as you look human and your dad is living darkness, so I'm assuming you got some pretty good health. Intelligence will be low with a 10, but we'll have to drop strength. Later on, we can raise any stat you like, so don't worry. Since Death the Kid is a divine being, we're making you an Aasimar. If you've watched my Ichigo video, you can guess where this is going. I wonder who would win in that fight. Place 2+ into Charisma and 1+ into Dex. Celestial Resistance grants you resistance to necrotic and radiant damage. Dark Vision gives you the ability to see in darkness out to 60 feet. Healing Hands gives you the ability to heal yourself or others. As an action, you can roll a number of d4s equal to your proficiency bonus and regain health once per long rest. Light Bearer gives you the light cantrip. Because a creature that can see in dark, getting a flashlight makes perfect sense. Finally, you get Celestial Revelation, but you don't get this till character level 3, so we're not going to talk about it right now. For background, take the skills Perception and Acrobatics. We'll start things off with some divine origins. So we're making you a sorcerer. For skills, grab Persuasion and Religion. Level 1 sorcerers start things off with spell casting. You gain 4 cantrips and 2 spells at this level. But before we get to the spells, you also start off with a sorceress origin, and you are Divine Soul. Divine Magic grants you access to both Sorcerer and Cleric spell lists. You also get a free spell. Cure Wounds lets you heal 1d8 plus your Charisma modifier as an action. Favored by the Gods lets you add 2d4 to your missed attacks or saving throws once per short or long rest. Time for spells. Firebolt fires a blast of fire out to 120 feet and dealing 1d10 fire damage. This will be one of your pinky guns. Oh wait, you can only fire one of these a turn and you fire 2 of them at a time. Damn, I must be bad at this. Or I just need a few levels to fix this, which I am. Sacred Flame fires Radiant Flame at a target within 60 feet and forces a dex save, dealing 1d8 radiant damage on a failure. Chill Touch targets one creature within 120 feet and deals 1d8 necrotic damage on a hit and stops the creature from healing until the start of your next turn. Spare the Dying stops one creature from dying, automatically stabilizing them should they fall to 0 HP. Guiding Bolt fires a tracer round from your pinky finger guns at a target within 120 feet, dealing 4d6 radiant damage on a hit and causing the target to glow until the end of your next turn. Should the target be attacked again before that, the attack has advantage and the light fades. Magic Missile fires 3 bullets that auto-hit their target within 120 feet of you, dealing 1d4 plus 1 times the number of bullets. You can fire each bullet at a single target or at an individual target. Time for martial arts and combat training. Level 1 monks start off with unarmored defense. Your AC when not wearing armor is now 10 plus Dex plus Wisdom, bringing your current AC to 14. I'd suggest you should wear armor, but you have to look sharp while fighting, so forget armor. Also, you can't wear armor because of your next feature. Martial arts improves your combat skills when not wearing armor. Your unarmed strikes can now be dex or strength based. You can make an unarmed strike with a bonus action, and your attacks with unarmed strikes deal martial arts damage. This starts off as a D4 but will improve. Level 2 monks gain unarmored movement. Now when not wearing armor, your movement is increased. As of now, your total movement is 40 feet. Ki grants you some spiritual energy to empower yourself in the form of ki points. These points equal your total monk level and can be used to perform special moves and abilities. Right now you have 3 of these to spend ki points on. Flurry of Blows lets you make 2 unarmed strikes with a bonus action by spending 1 ki point. Patient Defense turns dodge into a bonus action by spending 1 ki point. And Step of the Wind turns dash and disengage into bonus actions and doubles your jumping distance by spending 1 ki point. Your character level 3 now, which means you gain access to Celestial Revelation. With a bonus action, you can now unleash your divine power and enter an alternate state that lasts for 1 minute or until you end it with a bonus action. Because you're the son of Lord Death, we're taking Necrotic Shroud transformation, turning you into the living embodiment of death itself. While active, any creature within 10 feet other than you and your allies must make a Charisma save. Should they fail, they are now frightened of you until the end of your next turn. You can also deal extra bonus necrotic damage equal to your proficiency bonus once per turn when you hit with an attack or spell. This transformation is generally described as bone wings and black eyes. It's just aesthetic and not functional. I think a Cloak of Darkness works just as well, or pointy things coming out of your arms and gauntlets that are guns. It's a weird, interesting anime. Level 3 monks receive Deflect Missiles. You can now reduce damage from ranged melee attacks as a reaction by 1d10 plus dex plus your monk level. If your hands are empty and you reduce the damage to 0, you can catch the projectile and throw it as an attack with the same reaction. Ki-fueled strikes let you make an attack after using your action to spend 1 ki point. Not helpful now, but will come in handy later on. You also receive your subclass, and it's time for some Death God Taijutsu with Way of Mercy. Hands of Healing let you heal a creature by spending 1 ki point equal to your martial arts dice plus wisdom modifier as an action. Hey look, ki-fueled strikes can now work. If you use Flurry of Blows, you can also replace one of those unarmed strikes with Hands of Healing without spending a ki point. So now, with ki-fueled strikes and Flurry of Blows, you can always heal and attack. Hands of Harm add necrotic damage when you hit with a melee attack equal to your martial arts dice plus wisdom modifier by spending 1 ki point once per turn. Implements of Mercy give you proficiency in the skills Insight and Medicine and tool proficiency in Herbalism Kit. You can receive a special mask, so it's time to gain your Reaper mask just like your dad, but this is for flavor and you don't have to take it. I say take it, you look pretty cool in the cloak and mask. Level 2 sorcerers now have Font of Magic. You receive a pool of sorcery points equal to your sorcery level. Right now, these points can only be used to regain spell slots or burn spell slots to regain points, but you'll get a few uses next level. For your new spell, Shield adds +2 to your AC as a reaction and automatically stops Magic Missile. Your character level 5 now, which means Firebolt, Chill Touch, and Sacred Flame now get another damage dice each. Level 3 sorcerers gain Meta Magic. These are special things that can change your spells, and it's time to fix your no double gun issue. Twin Spell lets you target 2 creatures with the same spell if the spell doesn't target more than 1 creature or has a range of touch, by spending a sorcery point equal to the spell level. Now, Firebolt, Sacred Flame, Chill Touch, and Guiding Bolt can target 2 creatures by spending just 1 sorcery point. Want to fire 2 different spells in a single turn? Sure thing! Quicken Spell turns 1 spell into a bonus action by spending 2 sorcery points. Now let me explain something. When you cast a spell on your turn, you can't cast another spell unless it is a cantrip and a bonus action. So now you can turn any of your cantrips into a bonus action after you cast a spell, which is good because you're going to be getting some really good spells, especially now that you have access to 2nd level spells. For your new spell, Scorching Ray fires 3 bullets that deal 2d6 fire damage on a hit out to 120 feet. You can direct all 3 bullets at a single target or each at a different target. Level 4 Sorcerers earn our first ability score improvement. Place this into Charisma for better spell attacks. For your new spells, Toll the Dead targets one creature within 60 feet of you and forces a Wisdom save, dealing 2d8 necrotic damage on a failure or 2d12 necrotic damage if they are below full health and fail the save. This is a cantrip, so it can be used with Quicken Spell. You also receive a spell of 1st or 2nd level. Take what you want, we don't need any more from here. Level 4 Monks earn another ability score improvement. Place this into Dex for better attacks and AC. Slow Fall lets you reduce falling damage as a reaction by 5 times your monk level. Quicken Healing lets you heal yourself as an action by spending 2 key points equal to your martial arts dice plus proficiency bonus. And once more, this can be used with key fueled strikes. Level 5 Monks receive extra attack. You can now attack twice with a single attack action. Stunning Strike lets you stun an enemy after you hit them by spending 1 key point and forcing a con save. Should they fail, they are stunned until the end of your next turn. Focus Aim lets you turn a miss into a hit by spending up to 3 key points. For each key point you spend, you add 2 to the attack. Finally, your martial arts dice are upgraded to a D6. Level 6 Monks now have key empowered strikes. Your unarmed strikes are now magical. Mercy Monks now have Physician's Touch, improving both Hands of Harm and Healing. Now when you use Hands of Healing, you can end one disease or condition effect that is blinded, deafened, paralyzed, poisoned, or stunned. When you use Hands of Harm, you can now poison now, giving them disadvantage until the end of your next turn. Your unarmored movement is now improved by 5 feet, bringing your total movement to 45 feet. Level 5 Sorcerers now have access to 3rd level spells. And let's grab your flying skateboard Beelzebub. Yes, if you haven't seen the show, you have a flying skateboard. Fly grants you a flying speed of 60 feet while you maintain this spell for 10 minutes. Your character level 11 now. This means Firebolt, Chill Touch, Toll the Dead, and Sacred Flame all do 3 damage dice each. Level 6 Divine Soul Sorcerers gained Empowered Healing. Now whenever you or an ally within 5 feet of you rolls dice for a healing spell, you can spend 1 sorcery point to re-roll any of those dice once per turn. For your new spell, it's time for a big bullet. Fireball fires a blast out to 150 feet and creates an explosion. Everyone within a 20-foot radius of the blast must make a dex save or take 8d6 fire damage. Level 7 Sorcerers now have access to 4th level spells. For your new spell, we need to jump back really quick and grab a 1st level. Featherfall stops all fall damage, no matter the height, on up to 5 creatures including yourself. We waited to get this because you didn't have flying yet. You do now, so we need it. Level 7 Monks gain Evasion. Now when you succeed on a dex save, you take no damage and half on a failure. Stillness of Mind lets you end one effect on yourself as an action that is causing you to be charmed or frightened. Level 8 Monks receive another ability score improvement, Cap Off Dex for better attacks and AC. Level 9 Monks receive a massive improvement to their unarmed movement. Now you can run up vertical surfaces and across liquid, but you're not actually sticking to anything, so once you stop, you fall if you're not on solid ground. Level 8 Sorcerers earn another ability score improvement, Cap Off Charisma for better spell attacks and DC. For your final spell, grab what you want, we're good on bullets. Your character level 17 now, which means Firebolt, Chill Touch, Toll the Dead, and Sacred Flame are maxed out at 4 damage dice each. Level 10 Monks now have Purity of Body. You are now immune to diseases and poisons. Your unarmored movement is also upgraded, meaning your total movement is now 50 feet when not wearing armor. Level 11 Mercy Monks gain Flurry of Harming and Healing. You can replace any Flurry of Blow strike with Hands of Healing without spending an additional key point. You can also now use Hands of Harm when you use Flurry of Blows, but still this is just once per turn. Your martial arts dice are now upgraded to a D8. Our final level is level 12 monks, and you earn our final ability score improvement. I don't actually like ending a build on an ability score improvement, but you've maxed out 2 important ones, so who cares? This one's on you. Raise your wisdom for better AC, con for better health, or strength to get rid of the negative modifier. For this build, I'm placing this into strength. You go how you feel. Now that we've hit level 20, let's recap. Your stats should be Strength 10, Dex 20, Con 12, Intelligence 10, Wisdom 13, Charisma 20. Your total levels are Monk 12, Sorcerer 8. Let's dive in. Firstly, your combat is impressive. You can attack up to 4 times, adding 5+ to damage, can add necrotic damage that is 1d8 and or 6 depending on how you want to do it, and this is all magical. You can turn a miss into a hit, stun enemies. This stun ability actually makes your job with hunting evil witches much easier, as most spellcasters do not have a good con save, and stunning them takes away their spellcasting ability for 1 turn, which means they are now vulnerable to your party's attacks. Your range is incredibly impressive. You have a max range of 120 feet and can deal different types of damage, and even add +6 necrotic damage to the spell, and you can fire multiple shots a turn. Finally, you have amazing speed and support abilities. You have a flying speed of 60 feet, a walking speed of 50 feet, or 100 feet with Step of the Wind. You're also a great healer with both magic and key points. While the key healing is not as great as the magical, it's still good for backup. And to top it all off, you have a decent AC of 16 and can raise that up to 21. Can reduce or even negate falling damage and reduce damage from projectiles by 1d10 plus 17. Downside. So while you are a death god, you're only bringing an average HP of 114. That's actually not bad for a spellcaster, but not great for a frontline fighter. You also have a lot of resource management. 12 key points, 8 sorcery points, and 12 spell slots. This is actually an okay and to good number, but if you're not careful, you'll start to burn these out and lose some of your cooler abilities. This build actually balances frontline and ranged abilities, but does require you to think about what you need to do for that situation. Focus too hard on the front line and you can burn your key. Focus too much on range and you burn your spell slots. But all of this is pretty manageable. So stay back and destroy your enemies from a distance, or rush forward and keep your friends up and your enemies down. Thank you for joining me once again. I release a new build each week and requests are always open with the email in the description. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new one.